You have a remake of a nearly perfect movie that you're never going to top in a million years, and then you just put a bunch of women in it, and then it's just everyone's going to blame that and then think that women suck more. And like, that sucks. It's not good. Hey there, internet. A lot of you out there were asking me what I thought of this crazy thing that's going on the internet about the Ghostbusters trailer. So let's get into it. Sony Pictures put out the trailer for their Ghostbusters reboot, and the internet unanimously booted down, and everyone is just like pouring their hatred all over this trailer. It's crazy to me how much hatred is being just slopped on here. Well, there's like 400,000 like thumbs down, like, which is like a record. I don't think that this has ever happened before. Like, I don't recall ever seeing anything like this. I mean, even in, like, you see Gods of Egypt trailer and the Fantastic Four trailer, which were two horrible, huge bombs, and they have more likes than dislikes. And Sony has even gone so far as to, like, delete any comment that could be considered negative. It's a shit show over there, okay? It's a dumpster fire. It's amazing to see a major studio put out a trailer for a major franchise and then everyone just shit on it. Like, it's like, they must be freaking out over there, okay? Like, Kristen Wiig must be getting so drunk. She must be so sad. I would be. First of all, you can't judge a movie on the trailer, you know, I mean, completely. Like, it might be okay. I don't know. You know, I haven't seen it, so, you know, fair warning. What I will say is, you know, from the get-go, I thought that this was going to be a bad idea. Historically, I've generally been against remakes and reboots, especially of things that are already awesome to begin with, like RoboCop and Total Recall, and a whole bunch of other ones. Like, it's just like, don't do it, like, you don't need to. So when I heard that Sony was rebooting Ghostbusters, I was like, it's just like such a bad idea. Like, it's not gonna be a good idea. It's just not a good idea. And I think that potentially one of the reasons why this trailer is doing so badly on the internet is that Hollywood may have finally taken things a bit too far with the remakes and reboots, and audiences may be finally rejecting these things and just being like, no, I don't want this. No. I'm really hoping, like, that's what I'm hoping is the case. No. Now, we also have to address the elephant in the room, all right? So obviously, with this new reboot, they have replaced the male Ghostbusters with an all-female team. A lot of people bringing the hate for having an all-female team. They want to blame the movie being bad on having an all-female cast, when really it's not an all-female cast that's the problem. It's everything about this reboot, you know, unfortunately. So yeah, you can't blame women for this. Please don't blame women for this. It's not our fault, okay? Blame the executives who came up with this dumb idea. This is a much beloved franchise by millions of people all over the world. And you know what's cooler than just showing a bunch of women redoing the same beats that a bunch of men have done in the past, which is totally not progressive in any way, shape, or form? You know what's more progressive? Having a team of both men and women Ghostbusters that work together, and they have their own unique talents and their own unique skills. Like, I want to promote men and women working together and, like, respecting one another more so than, like, oh, we had an all-male team, so now we should have an all-female team or whatever. Like, I think that's a bad idea. This trailer leads me to believe that this is going to be another one of those Hollywood algorithm movies where they're like, well, you know, Jurassic Park, it works so great, let's just repeat the beats in Jurassic World. New Hope, man, everybody loves Star Wars, let's just repeat those beats in Force Awakens. And I feel like this is going to be a lot of the same, where it's like, oh, Ghostbusters works really well, let's just repeat all the beats again. I saw a few beats that were repeated in the trailer, like all the three of them are in a library and there's a ghost, and then one of them goes up to the ghost, and then the ghost is obviously not a friendly ghost. That happened in the opening scene of Ghostbusters 1, and you're gonna show me in your trailer the opening scene from your trailer is going to be the opening scene from Ghostbusters. It's like, no, like, that's not what I want at all. And, you know, there's also the hearse thing going on. They repeat that where it's like, oh, we didn't want a hearse. Oh, I guess we have a hearse now to drive around in. That's another beat that was done. You see them in the subways again. And you also see them coming together, like, as a team in a similar way than the last team. It just looks like they're making the exact same movie except switching the gender roles between the Ghostbusters and making them women, and then making the Janine Melnitz's character a man. And it's just like, that's the only difference. Cheap is a better word. It's cheap. It's just they can't keep doing this forever. And I think that the buck stops here. Side note, another thing that's really odd to me is the fact that they decided to use a bunch of CGI stuff. Yeah, the effects just looked a little just too slick CGI for me. You know, the original, oh man, they look so good, and they're like scary, and like it's fun. And I don't know how they did the effects, like, so that's fun. It's a mystery. That's such a practical effects achievement in filmmaking. You know, Steve Johnson, like, was just like this kid, like doing all these effects. You know, you see Star Wars, like The Force Awakens, they heard the call on the internet, and they were like, no, we're gonna do practical effects, and they looked really great, and everybody was really excited for them. So with a movie like this, it seems like a real missed opportunity to not hop on the practical effects train. If somebody's putting a gun to your head and you have to make another Ghostbusters movie, and you have to make it, you just have to make it, then instead of doing what they did do, what they should have done is do Ghostbusters 3. We stay in like the same world, we expand upon that world, you know, go somewhere new with it, see what's been happening in the modern times, and like see what's happened between like the 20 years since we've seen the Ghostbusters. That would be so much fun. Like, I would love to see that. In fact, just go read Max Landis' treatment on Ghostbusters 3. He did a whole thing where what he would want to see, and I would just watch that movie because it's all about like franchises, and it's like a dying franchise. And in his version, he does have like females and males on a team. And another thing that I thought that has never been explored that I would love to see in a Ghostbusters movie is having a psychic on the team. You got to expand the universe. You got to build on the world. You can't just do the same things that happened last time.
Bingo.
Marvelous!
Now, if you do anything that's not a sequel, or not a TV series, or it doesn't look like one, they won't do it. And it really shows an enormous lack of imagination and fear of creativity.
Do I think that you should go see the new Ghostbusters movie? Probably not. I don't think that you should, because I think we need to send a message to Hollywood to stop remaking awesome movies from the 80s that were awesome that you're never going to top. And part of it is our fault. It is audience's fault because we pay to go see these things. So what I'm really trying to say is if you go see Ghostbusters, you're responsible for the Back to the Future remake that they're probably gonna make eventually, okay? It's gonna happen. I'm just waiting. No! Just waiting. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this movie. I'm sure there'll be a lot of really crazy sexist comments. It'll be a lot of fun to read. And yeah, if you like this video, be sure to thumbs it up, and also be sure to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also the Comic Book Girl 19 calendar, 2016 Weird Ass calendar's on sale right now, $16. It's pretty awesome. It's like, you can actually write on it this year. Last year's paper, like, you couldn't really write on. So yeah, you can get that at comicbookgirl19.com.